Real ID has been postponed more than a George R.R. Martin novel, but is it a scam? Find out on my regular segment, Is It a Scam? Yep. Real ID, which isn't an acronym, it's just in all caps because the Senate is full of old people and that's how they text, was passed so long ago that George W. Bush was involved. And I know you mostly think of him as a bad painter, but before that, he did a lot of even worse stuff. One of his main things was using 9/11 as an excuse to pass a bunch of laws that didn't work, like creating the TSA, which misses 95% of weapons brought through the checkpoint, and letting the NSA spy on all of your phone calls, which has, get this, contributed to literally 0 prevented terrorist attacks. One of those silly billies was the Real ID Act, and the whole thing it does is create some extra paperwork for getting a driver's license. There are a lot of concerns about privacy and federal power, but I think the more important point is that it's just dumb. Yes, some of the 9/11 attackers got IDs using forged paperwork, but if you add paperwork to people who have forgers on retainer, you're just subsidizing the forging industry. And if it gets too complicated, they'll just use fake IDs. You are not going to stop terrorism by requiring something that any 19-year-old who's horny for White Claw can get. One of the changes is that you have to show 2 proofs of your address, like a power bill or something, instead of 1. The only terrorists this is going to weed out are the ones who have a dentist appointment coming up in like 10 minutes, or in other words, they will be just as effective as the TSA and NSA combined. Of course, the real reason why people like Bush Light pushed for it is who it actually hurts. People who don't have time to stand in DMV lines and don't have a lot of extra power bills lying around. Poor people. It's a law that nobody likes, that doesn't work, that was passed for the wrong reasons, and is mainly designed to take poor people down a peg. But is it a scam? Yep.